Roots reggae music is dominated by men, but four women stand out, all with distinct vocals and are chanters of audacious, powerful, conscious lyrics. There's Queen Ifrica and Janine of Jamaica, there's Dezarie of the USVI, and Rima also of the USVI. I'd love to speak with all of these really special women about their individual journeys and their contributions to the music that I love. But today I'm blessed to have Rima respond to several of our questions, mainly in the context of a 2018 album, Breaking News. Stay tuned. Hello, I'm GideonStHelen. Welcome to Irie Roots Reggae Reviews, where we take a deeper look in the nuts and bolts of Roots Reggae albums. Now, clearly this year has not gone as we all envisioned or planned, but we're alive, we're here. We give thanks for life. I want to send my thoughts and prayers to anyone who has lost someone in this time, whether through COVID or some other cause. If you've followed us on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, you'd be correct in thinking that Rima's music is the exact type of reggae that I love. To me, her music is the definition of roots reggae music, instrumentally and lyrically. I want to take this opportunity to highlight this phenomenal artist. Reemah is from St.Croix in the USVI, a powerhouse of organic, militant roots reggae music. We asked Reemah to tell us a little bit more about herself and what drew her to conscious or roots reggae music.
I was born on the island of St. Croix. At an early age, my uncles introduced me to conscious reggae, and as I grew, I came to appreciate the spirituality within the music, which aligned with my search for a deeper meaning to life. In my quiet time, I developed a love for writing poetry and singing as a form of self-expression and healing. They both came most naturally to me.
As you listen to Reemah, the first thing that's quite obvious about the music is the power, the intensity behind her voice in both studio and live performances. That was one captivating feature of her first album, Check Your Words, and the intensity is maintained on her second album, Breaking News. I'm thinking of tracks like War, Judgment Red, Check Your Words on her first album. A writer on reggaeville.com described her vocal as that rare tonal quality that separates the greats from the goods. Absolutely. It's not a voice that's faked or copied. She is as authentic as it gets. Rima talked to us about how she found and developed her voice.
During those times that I spent writing and creating songs, I began to practice them as well. I started to record myself and play it back, and I did this over and over until I was satisfied with what I heard. Over time, my voice developed, and as my awareness and consciousness blossomed, it naturally reflected in my writing.
One of the admirable features of Rima's music is its authenticity. This is that intangible quality that can make or break roots reggae albums. It's frankly what many artists, even those out of Jamaica, lack. You can tell that Reemah lives what she chants about in her songs, and this is one reason for the passion and intensity of her music.
I was already on a conscious journey, and coming from an island, roots reggae was the music that was most in alignment with my path. Had I been given the opportunity to have a musical platform, I already knew what it was that I wanted to say to anyone willing to listen.
As I've said many times before, Irie Roots Reggae music is my go-to reggae music. This music resonates with me deeply because of the organic sound and message. The legacy of Irie Roots Reggae music is long, with Midnight Akibeka being the most recognized band out of the VI. There are so many other bands, so many other artists out of the VI that we could talk about also. I'll get to the Midnight song in a while, but I want to note here that as you listen to Reemah, you can hear some of Dezarie's influence. Dezarie is the other most well-known female roots reggae artist from the VI, and in my books, she is one of the 4 leading female roots reggae artists of our generation. Now, I want to be careful here and respect their individuality and their uniqueness by not comparing them. I'll also say here that one of the things I love about reggae artists from the VI is their collaborative culture, which has allowed the younger artists to learn from the elders. So you have people like Pressure Buzz Pipe learning from Midnight Akibeka, and you have people like Reemah learning from Dezarie. It's rare for a young artist to really produce an excellent debut album, which is what Check Your Words is, and then to follow it with another excellent album like Breaking News. That's why there is this concept in the music business called the sophomore slump. So we have no sophomore slump with Reemah. Reemah first talks to us about the central theme of her debut album, Check Your Words.
A major theme in Check Your Words is consciousness of self, as well as consciousness of the reality that we find ourselves in day to day. Some other themes are strength, perseverance, unity, love, and relinquishing fear, among others.
We then ask her about what she got right on Check Your Words that she replicated on Breaking News.
I would say using the same formula in the production and production style of the music.
There are some differences between Check Your Words, the first album, and the second album, Breaking News. Breaking News to me is a near-perfect album. And Reemah talks to us about what separates the two albums.
Whereas Check Your Words served as an introduction to who I was, Breaking News goes deeper into who I am. That burning fire on the first album is now balanced with deeper insight and a more wholesome approach towards how I view life.
Now, regarding the song of Breaking News, we wanted to know more about who produced this excellent album and the history of the producer, especially given the overall continuity in song between the first album and the second album, and how well the instrumentation complements the essence of a vocal style.
The sound on Breaking News was crafted by the talented Catalyst Mitchell out of St. Croix, who produced my debut album, Check Your Words, as well. He definitely knows what I'm looking for in terms of a rhythm and is able to tailor a track to my style. 9 out of 10 of the tracks on Breaking News was produced by him. The remaining track, Give Thanks Every Day, was produced by Dwayne D. Harmony Morris out of St. Croix, who is a very gifted producer as well as an artist. He has quietly been making contributions to the VI sound over the years. You can look forward to hearing more from him in the near future.
We focus just a little bit more on the sound of Breaking News, given the sonic similarities with some of Midnight's works. For example, on the track Far Away, I can hear the live drum patterns typical of earlier Midnight albums, and especially the live shows with drummers like Christian Molina. Rima expands on the connection between her sound and that of Midnight.
The drummer of Midnight's first few albums is Dion Bosie Hopkins, who happens to also be the drummer that Catalyst uses for the majority of his productions. Dion was one of the first drummers there when Midnight began to gain traction in the roots reggae world. Drummers that came after typically drum in his essence and spirit. So because of this, comparisons will definitely be made to Midnight's sound.
We'll now switch to the words and message of Breaking News. The messages of the individual songs on this album are all relevant to our time.
Breaking News is somewhat an extension of Check Your Words in that both have a rebellious overtone. However, in Breaking News, there's also this feeling of reassurance and spiritual connectedness with songs such as Give Thanks Every Day, Crowns Upon Your Head, and One Life.
One of the remarkable features of the album is the exquisite poetic writing. I believe Reemah writes her own songs, which likely contributes to the conviction with which she delivers the songs.
I do write my own lyrics. As I touched on earlier, writing songs and poems were a passion of mine growing up. And because I write my own lyrics, I feel there's more of a personal connection that comes through the music.
While I'd love to highlight every song of this album, I chose 3 songs that I wanted Reemah to talk to us about. The first is Far Away. That's the first track of the album. Reemah sings, "There can be no solution for anything at hand if the minds of the people refuse to fly far away." Reemah expanded on the message of this song, especially the line that I just quoted.
In Far Away, I explore how the old ways of thinking and doing have not worked to remove the systematic oppression and are therefore outdated. There will be no changes unless we completely remove the invisible chains that keep us under lock and key. The minds and the spirit of the people have to be fearless and free to fly far away from all the tools of bondage, such as religion, political agendas, and any other form of oppression that continue to deprive and exploit the people.
The second song we discussed is Modern Day, that's track number 3. When I heard this song, my thoughts were, my goodness, she is fearless. This song is an indictment of the American system in a way I've not really heard from a young reggae artist. While she didn't mention it explicitly, I believe she's singing in part about the 13th Amendment or slavery by another name. The song is a brutally righteous tune. She said, "The American dream, you got to in a deep sleep to believe in the American regime." Now if for some reason Rima stops making music today, I think this song would be held up as one of her finest. She talked to us about the message in the song Modern Day and why she is unafraid to call out America in such a forceful way.
While I did not specifically write Modern Day with the 13th Amendment in mind, the first two lines of the second verse is certainly reminiscent of it. I really wanted to capture the struggle and the injustices of our people and humanity globally, using America as an example. Many people from many countries travel to America in search of better living conditions and opportunity. And although many have found just that, I think we can all see by the recent eruptions of riots and protests that there is something festering beneath the surface, not only in America, but worldwide. As long as we are murdered and treated unfairly for how we look and who we are, there will always be unrest. And as long as we are unwilling to remove the blinders from our eyes and face reality, we will always be slaves in a modern day.
The final track we discussed is the title track, Breaking News, track number 4. This song really shows the versatility of Rima as a vocalist, as she chants in a classic VI manner and employs wordplay like a Von Benjamin would. She plays on the words breaking news as in news meant to break us.
In the track Breaking News, I wanted to highlight the role that the media plays in the dehumanization and subjugation of the people. I dig a little deeper into the meaning of the words quote-unquote breaking news, showing how the news slowly breaks the spirit and will of the people by repeatedly broadcasting disheartening, jaded, and many times fabricated stories. This is a well-documented form of control and brainwashing. The mass media is not interested in uplifting humanity, but rather manipulating it.
As we often do, we ask Rima for her favorite song on the album and why it's a favorite song.
Without a doubt, my favorite song would have to be Give Thanks Every Day. This tune is so dear to me because I firmly believe in having an attitude of gratitude. Science has now been able to prove on a cellular level what the ancients and those that are spiritually adept already knew. Frequency, energy, emotions, they're all connected. Your outlook on life shapes your reality. Give thanks every day reminds me to live in love.
Finally, we were really interested in what's next for this great artist. This year alone, Rima has released a couple of really powerful singles that I've had on a loop. There's Don't Want Nothing and then I Want. Rima talked to us about her plans for the near future, so be on the lookout for more music from this exceptional young roots reggae artist.
I'm working on a few projects now that I am very excited about. Those 2 singles that you mentioned might just make it on an EP. Also, a 3rd album is in the works, so stay tuned.
Now, as a formality, we scored the album, Breaking News, following the Irie Roots Reggae criteria. The first criterion, originality, authenticity. There is no question about the authenticity of the artist and her music. We gave 10 out of 10. For lyricism, the lyrics are poetic, militant, relevant, and clearly well thought of. We gave 10 out of 10 also. Her production instrumentation, overall the production is excellent. We gave 10 out of 10. For coherence of the album is thematically coherent. However, sonically you could tell the difference in the approach on Give Thanks Every Day from the other 9 tracks on the album. As Rima mentioned earlier, this song was the only one that was not produced by Catalyst. This difference will be apparent to audiophiles. So for overall coherence, I give it a 9 out of 10. For accessibility, advanced reggae music, this is a highly accessible album with clear, intelligible vocals, so I give a 10 out of 10 also. Overall, the Irie Roots Reggae Score is 9.8 out of 10 or 98%. Breaking News is an excellent album from a young roots reggae artist with a message for our time. Check out her 2 albums, Check Your Woods and Breaking News, as well as the 2 incredible singles she released earlier this year. I'm really looking forward to her upcoming EP and a full album. Rima, thanks for taking the time to respond to so many of our questions. You're gracious, you're profound, and it was really an honor. Give thanks. Until next time, as we always say, live life Irie and listen to roots. Blessings.